G'day, this is Simon and James at South OC Cars and Coffee. It's an amazing turnout. The morning started off really cold, but the sun is out, it's warming up, and there are a ton of cars and so much variety today. What have you seen?
Yeah, it's a huge event today. We've got a whole bunch of V10s here this morning. I don't know what happened. I think every Huracan owner in Southern California decided to get together and come to the event. There's so many of them here.
And R8s as well this morning.
R8s as well. I know pretty much every Audi V10 that you can imagine is here. We have a really nice Gen 2 Ford GT. Really cool, kind of in like a Nardo gray color. Whole bunch of Porsches, whole bunch of really cool stuff. What are you seeing?
Yeah, we've got a limited edition Polestar. Polestar, of course, sponsors of the show. They've brought a car this morning, a P2, that's really rare. And we've also got this classic old Porsche that I've seen roll in, and also an old Corvette race car as well with some history too. Hey, don't forget, if you come to South OC Cars and Coffee, please respect our rules. No speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes getting on and off the freeway as well. Helps us, keeps the neighbours happy, so please make sure to do that. Hey, let's go for a walk and check some stuff out.
Let's do it. Here we have the Gen 2 Ford GT in a beautiful kind of dark matte gray color with the carbon package. You can see these exposed carbon stripes, the carbon wheels, carbon mirrors. Beautiful all Alcantara interior with a really cool kind of square bottom and square top steering wheel as well. This car does have the wing raised. One of my favorite looks on this car is when it's in race mode. It squats the car down, brings the wing up, just looks so aggressive. Not too dissimilar to the first GT we looked at. Here is a Mark 1 Ford GT in a really interesting color combo, white and blue. Not something you see too often. Love this really retro looking interior. The polished supercharger on there. Such a timeless car, and even though it's coming up on 17 years old, it still looks just as good as it did the day it came out.
Now, this is not something you see every day. This looks very genuine. If you look at the patina and the chips in the front, you would swear this is an original Porsche 906. Well, in fact, this car was built for the movie Ford v Ferrari. Now, we had 3 years ago, the guys from Superperformance brought all of the Shelby cars to the show. In fact, I was fortunate enough to drive one of the cars to the event, and so was Sarah, my wife. Well, this was one of the Porsches that was built. I just spoke to the owner. This is an exact replica of what would have raced. I mean, look at this. You wouldn't want your arm to come off the onto the top of the coil, get a nice little shock. But this particular car is an exact replica. But during the movie, they actually did two color schemes of it, two livery. There was actually a yellow version of it, and also this version in the blue. So really cool that they would, repurpose the car. And as the owner was just saying to me, she just said, look, they drove these in the movies. It wasn't like the Batmobile, which, was really just a set car. This car was actually raced, and that's why you'll see cracks, and that's why you'll see stone chips and all those sort of things, is because they wanted it to be a proper race car. I remember that when I drove the Superperformance Cobra, the one that Christian Bale drives in the movie, Lance from Superperformance said to me, "You should have got on the car." And I just said, well, I know it was a movie car, I know it was precious. And exact words were, there's nothing you could have done to that car that they didn't do in the movie, and there's nothing we couldn't have fixed. So, hey, they were built to be driven. What a special car, and how great to see this at the show.
Here we have a beautiful 991.2 911 Turbo S. It's finished in one of the coolest navy blue colors that I've ever seen. I've actually never seen a Porsche finished in this color before. It must be PTS or something. Has these really nice BBS, I think they're FIR wheels, just a really nice timeless look to them. Massive carbon ceramic brakes, beautiful interior as well. What a cool spec, so much carbon on this car. I've really never seen anything like it. Here we have the beautiful Maserati MC20. This paint job is absolutely phenomenal. It's a factory color, and it's white with a blue metallic flake to it. In the sun, it looks like this gorgeous baby blue. What an awesome car.
Absolutely amazing custom build on this Harley. there are so many little details that in this light with this camera, I don't think this is going to do it justice. Like, look at the detail of the airbrushing. Honestly, this is like looking at incredibly good tattoo work when you look at it. Just so many details. Turbocharger there. Look at that clear intake that the turbo's running into. Just the machine work. All of these details of these machined pieces through here. This is something that's it's really worthy of our, well, we call it car of the week, but in this case it would be motorcycle of the week. Absolutely incredible to look at. Real credit to the builders. So I got the guys behind me from PDM Brands. They're a company that's recently become associated with South Sea Cars and Coffee. They're printing all of our apparel for us, all of these new shirts. There's some really great printing designs, but there's a lot more to PDM Brands than just being amazing apparel printers. Guys, jump in here. Tell us about PDM Brands. What do you do?
How's it going, guys? So I'm Daniel, PDM Brands. Me and my brother, we own an apparel company. We do a lot of printing for businesses, influencers.
Like these shirts?
Guys. So now we started our own apparel company. It's basically moto inspired. We're getting into all type of stuff where we do our own cut and sew. And then every 30 days, we're just gonna be giving away bikes.
Which is pretty crazy. I mean, imagine.
This is our first giveaway right here. It's gonna be a 2022 Yamaha R1. 60th anniversary. We have some goodies on it, full exhaust, Rizoma mirrors, a tune. So we're gonna be building every bike and then just giving it away.
That is so cool. Now we've got the link to the PDM Brands website on our website, but where's the best place for guys to catch up with you? Is it social media? Is it website? What's the best way to find you?
Social
Daniel?
media, if you want to follow us, the PDM Brands on the Instagram. That'll take you to all our pages. We're starting a vlog with all our builds. And all you got to do is you purchase anything. Every dollar spent is 5 entries per dollar spent. Right now we're running a promo?
Up until the first.
Up until the first, 30 times entries for every dollar spent.
Absolutely. Now, we love these guys' work. They're just doing incredible stuff for us. Just the thing from our perspective, the detail in their printing, some of the cool raised lettering, some of the style of printing, the methods that they use, and it's not just printing as well, it's embroidery that can be done as well. So if you want to get some cool brands and you want to go into the draw to win a motorcycle every month, make sure to check these guys out. That's PDM Brands. Guys, we really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for coming along. Great to have you here as always. And if you come to South Sea Cars and Coffee, check out the front of the bike row because these guys will always be there. Here's this classic Chevy race car I was talking about. Have a look at some of the things. It's just, you know, various entries. This thing is very serious. You can see sitting on the back here, there's a book, goes through all of the history of the car, which is pretty incredible. You can only imagine the tracks this car has seen, probably the stacks this car has seen, and the different people that have driven this thing. It is really cool. I love seeing cars like this. You can only imagine sort of what it's been through in its life. Very, very cool. R35, this belongs to Craig Lieberman, one of our volunteers and friends and regulars. Craig was part of the original group of advisors and also provided some of the cars on the early Fast and Furious franchises. So obviously he's got a few great stories to tell. In fact, he still travels around the world and meets with the groups. Here he is here. Hello, mate. So we're just talking about your car. What have you done to this? Because I don't think it looks all original. There's stuff.
Is that an official question from the law enforcement or just you? Okay.
Yeah, this is just me.
It's actually the run-of-the-mill FBO, full bolt-ons, intake exhaust, injectors, pumps, E85, and that's pretty much it.
And have you dynoed it?
Yep.
And
627 at the wheels.
627 at the wheels. All 4 wheels?
Yes.
All 4 wheels.
They were all attached at the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Damn. This is a great car. So you've actually, this used to be a different color, and you have recently rewrapped it, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if the camera's picking up the color changes, but
it used to be dark blue, and then it was bright blue for 7 years, and then I took it to this wrap shop so that we can get it off without taking the paint off. So it's called 9 Livery in orange. and they spent 7 days stripping the car.
Oh no.
And then another 4 days disassembling it, and then they wrapped it, and it took 3 weeks. So, but it looks fantastic.
It's just such a big job. Mike Camaro's just been in to get PPF by the guys at Next Level Detail for SEMA next week, and that has got that massive Copo hood. And do you think they had fun getting the PPF over the shape? They sent me photographs of the progress. And of course, to do those sort of jobs, they take the door handles off, they do all that sort of stuff to do it properly. So this looks really great, mate. And I was just saying before you walked up, you were involved with how many of the Fast and Furious movies?
Just the two, first one and
first
the second
one. The second one, and you also supplied some of the cars for the show as well.
The Supra was mine, the Maxima and the R34 for Too Fast, Too Furious was chosen to be main cars in the first couple of movies. So.
Excellent. And when you owned those cars, did they have 15 forward gears, or was that something they added in the movie?
They had, maybe they were just lost in gear. You know when you first drive a manual, you can't find the gear?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Keep going until you get one that the car starts accelerating again. I don't know.
Exactly.
Remember, technical advisor, the main key operative term is advisor.
Advisor, excellent. Well, mate, always great to see your cars looking great. Always great to have you along the show. Thank you for coming, as always. Now, 2 Mustangs rolling this morning, pre-arranged to be here. Super clean builds. I mean, you look at this thing, it looks really good. Look at the interior and everything else. These look like brand new cars. And you'll notice something. As they pulled in, I thought, man, these things have got quiet exhausts. And that's because there is no exhaust on these cars. These are both electric builds, both of these cars, and they are done extremely, extremely well. If you look at the detail, these are the ultimate resto mod for this century. When you look at what's been done, the company's called Charge. There is amazing quality in what we're looking at, and yet under the hood, completely silent. Now, I know the purists are going, oh, they shouldn't put an electric motor in this. The reality is people are going to want to drive classic cars, but when fuel becomes more expensive than it already is, which is hard to imagine, this is going to be a great solution for the next 50 years, whatever. So great to see these sort of things happening. More and more electric vehicles. I heard this morning from a friend of mine who's involved in banking with the automotive industry. In California alone, 18% of car sales are electric vehicles, which is really, really interesting. I mentioned earlier that Polestar brought a limited edition. It's called the BST Edition 270 vehicle to us. One of the first thing you'll notice is the wheels. I think they're the same wheels they used on the Polestar P1, but also from a suspension standpoint, have a look up in here. So Olus suspension. This is a very rare build, and really good to see those wheels look absolutely great on it. So big thank you to the guys from Polestar for bringing this car down. Great to see all these new cars in the flesh. Really pretty classic Bronco build here. Love this colour, it just looks great on it. Period correct looking wheels. Modern interior, but still got the original instrumentation. Love that wood rimmed steering wheel in there. This is really nice. This is a great looking build. It's not over the top like a lot of builds, so the nice thing about that is you wouldn't be afraid to get in the thing and drive it, which is great. But it looks really good. Paint job on it's really nice. Great looking car, and of course Broncos these days, because the new ones come out, the classic ones are pulling huge amounts of money. Next to it, classic old Chevy pickup. Look at this thing. Once again, great colour, original looking thing, wooden tray, not over the top, but just something to be great just to jump in, drive to car shows like today. Actually the interior, look at this, what someone's done in there. Look at the flowers on the interior. So this build looks like it's a few years old, judging by the paint, but once again, still a great looking car. And then next to it, let's not stop, let's keep rolling. Look at this classic old Packard here. Massive, massive old car. Those side vents on the side, the spare wheel there. This car is just absolutely beautiful. What a great car to ride around in, and lots of leg room in the back of this thing too. So 3 very different cars, side by side, but really great to see. great looking Defender here. Check this thing out. Just the right amount of lift, really nice wheels under the hood. GM powered LS3, good fuel system. You can see the regulator back there. This is really, really nice. I'm sure this is amazing to drive. The interior's been nicely done. Just tastefully, sort of more of a, I mean, this might be the original interior. I don't know. I mean, it's this car, I don't think those switch panels are, but this is really, really good. I can't let Sarah see this. She'll want it. It just looks so damn fine. The rebirth of the Hummer brand, of course, started off as a military vehicle and then became the Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle of choice. And then, of course, all the other versions, the more community-minded versions like the H2, and of course then the H3 came out. This is the new electrified Hummer, the EV, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's in the same class, I guess, as things like a Rivian, but I think this thing looks better. It's a good-looking vehicle. I believe they sell it through GMC dealerships here across the US, but it looks good. Good looking thing. Great looking Torino here. This thing is gorgeous in bright orange. Resto mod, massive bare brakes under there, drilled and slotted discs or rotors. Just amazing looking thing. Colour looks great. 429 on the side there, that wood brim steering wheel. Cars from this era just look so good in my opinion. This is a great looking car. Absolutely love it. Good on every angle. For the Aussies that might be watching this, doesn't that back rear quarter panel remind you of an X, A, B or C coupe? And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, think of the back quarter panel of Mad Max's car. Great looking car.
That's going to do it for another weekend here at South OC Cars and Coffee. Another huge turnout. So many cool cars here this morning. Please remember, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, respect our rules: no revving, no speeding, and no burnouts. It does include while getting on and off the freeway. Just want to make sure that we can keep this event going for years to come. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors as well. We have McGuire's Polestar PDM brand, Next Level Detailing, RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories, Carbontastic M&MW Company, which of course is the parent company of Momo, World, Forge Star, and so many other fantastic companies. Please remember, if you are coming to South OC Cars and Coffee and you want to volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch, where we handle all of our volunteer rostering. And then while you're over there, check out some of the cool new merchandise designs that we've got going on. We couldn't put the show on without those volunteers. And if you do want to volunteer, you get to bring your car in early before 8:30, and Ruby's Coffee does supply free coffee and donuts as well.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that, and of course at Rockwell's as well for feeding the masses at the show. Thank you to Outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here. We could not do this show without them. Hey, remember to watch our social media. We're doing a charity event in about 3 weeks for the Boys and Girls Club of San Clemente, so love to have you guys along and help give to the local community for that one as well. Hey, don't forget to like, follow and subscribe below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go.